Good morning, guys. How's it going? Aaron here, checking in with you, May 30th. This is a follow-up video to to yesterday's video, which I did at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I was on my way to Emerge at the time. So anybody that follows me knows that I've had some ongoing ankle issues. Not exactly sure why or what was going on. It seemed to happen at certain times and events that would be potentially coming up. And finally, I decided to go get looked at. The pain was too much yesterday. My foot was ridiculously swollen. There wasn't much I could do. So I decided, you know what? Let's go to the hospital. Let's just get it checked out. So sure enough, I did. And after 3 hours, which is fine because, you know, the guy that was bleeding needed stitches. The guy whose pancreas was going to explode needed serious attention. So I I was good waiting. I'm a very patient person when I need to be. So that's what I did. I sat and I waited, and I worked on my breathing. So thank goodness for that. Because the pain was, yesterday was one of the most excruciating things I've ever felt. With that being said, I found out I have gout, and I don't know much about it. I'm starting to learn a lot more. I know it hurts like hell. I never imagined how much it would hurt, and when I started looking into it, it's described as a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10 pain, and that's where I was last night for sure. By the time I got home, and I had taken the special pills that I got for it, so the new lifelong medication that I will be on anytime that it flares up, I quickly ate dinner because I hadn't eaten all day, and I went up to bed. And this was at like 7 o'clock at night. Normally I would have stayed up for a little bit, hung out with the wife, and I couldn't do it. I'm like, I'm going upstairs. I can't get comfortable at all. My body went into fight mode. So it was trying to fight an infection that wasn't really there, if that makes sense. So I got flu-like symptoms for a few hours. So I got achy, I got a bit of a fever, I got chills instantly. And that was because all the white blood cells are just, you know, they're pooling down to my ankle, trying to fight off this infection that wasn't really an infection. It's just a buildup of uric acid. So another thing that I'm just going to have to research and learn more about, because this isn't going anywhere. It's been going on for the last year and a half, 2 years, give or take. And the first real bout that I remember was a year and a half ago when I went to Georgia. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it's almost every time something important is coming up, is when it happens. So when I was talking to the doctor about it, who shout out to Dr. Deacon, he's like the coolest doctor I've ever met. He had the best bedside manner as he was dealing with all these various people. Of course, when you're in an emergency ward, like you're pretty close quarters, you can hear everything. So hence, you know, the guy that had stitches, and he was joking around with him. The guy that had stitches, shout out to you, because you were hardcore as fuck, dude. I guess you're like, fuck, just do it. Just stitch me up. I don't need no numbing. It was pretty funny. And then you guys talked hockey. It was good. And then with the other guy, I'd been back and forth between 2 different hospitals, which are only about 15 minutes apart. I mean, it's apparent how much of a shortage there is in rooms and whatnot. And they had broken beds, they told me. So anyway, I sat there for a while. When he finally came around, he looked at me, and we got talking about things. And one of the biggest causes for gout is alcohol. So, you know, he asked, do I drink? And very proudly, I said, actually, I'm like 894 days sober, something like that, 93. I can't quite remember. I want to say it's 93. I have to look it up. I haven't been all over it as much anymore because it's not top of mind. So I'm super proud of that. And then he asked about red meat. He goes, you know, another cause is a lot of red meat, a lot of sugars. I said, well, as a matter of fact, I'm a competitive bodybuilder. So I eat a lot of chicken, broccoli, and rice. Not eating a whole lot of red meat. I do once in a while, every couple weeks or so, or maybe once a week, I might have tacos or might have a steak. Like we're getting into steak season here in Canada, which really should be all year. Um, I just didn't keep up with my barbecue this year to be able to get to it. Nonetheless, different story. Um, that wasn't the underlying cause. So two other main factors is hypertension and get down. My dog listens when she wants to. Hypertension and hereditary. So obviously he asked hereditary. I said, honestly, my family's huge. So on my dad's side, there was 7 aunts and uncles. And on my mom's side, there was 8 aunts and uncles. So that's a big family tree. As far as my parents go, I don't think either of them have it. I'm not sure. Hypertension to me makes the most sense right now. Because like I said, it flares up every time something big is coming. Going to the performance center, that happened. Going away for a meeting or a trip, it would happen. Even actually when I had to fly and I had to go to Georgia, actually the first time, it was the same thing. And then it's just, in the last little bit, I had the show coming up. My very first bodybuilding show. And 2 weeks prior to that, it happened. And in 10 days from now, 9 days from now, whatever it is, on June 8th, I'm doing this Canadian meetup with Diamond Dallas Page and his wife, Paige McMahon Page, and Dr. Marcel Dore, and we're doing a DDPY class. We're expecting over 200 people there. So, gonna be, helping the doctor and the pages, facilitate some classes and some breathing and, some DDPY techniques, potentially walking around and helping people with form and stuff like that. That's kind of what my goal is. Because my goals they've completely changed from when I started doing DDPY. But when my foot started hurting yesterday and I realized, fuck, this might be a problem because it takes generally 2 weeks to clear up. And lo and behold, when you start looking it up online, and Google's a dangerous thing because you're either going to find the correct facts or you're going to find the not so correct facts that you believe are correct facts. So when I start deep diving on something, I really deep dive on it. I really want to make sure that that's truly the case as to what's going on. So that's exactly what I did. And untreated, generally it goes away in about 2 weeks. That's generally what happens. That's with rest, plenty of fluids, and anti-inflammatories, which makes sense, right? And elevating your foot, depending where it is. I mean, generally gout strikes in the ankle. Toe is another big one that I hear a lot of, or that I've heard a lot of now that I've been looking into it. But with the medication, and the doctor even said this, he goes, by tonight, the pain should be gone. He didn't tell me that it would get worse before it got better. And if that is a real thing, I don't know. I didn't look into that. I was looking into well, how can I make myself comfortable? Is it normal to get sick? Because all these symptoms, everything started hitting me and I was like, oh God. When you get the fever and the chills and when you're getting the flu and everything starts to hurt, that's exactly how I felt last night. Couple that with 9 out of 10 pain on my ankle. I've actually broke my ankle when I was younger, on the right side, and this was way worse. So trying to get through that pain. But I had 3 pills yesterday. You take 2 right away, and then you take 1 an hour later, and then 1 for the next 3 to 5 days, varying times over the day, and then everything's supposed to subside. So it's going to be interesting because now I feel like Jonathan Taylor Thomas, when he found out that he had that thyroid problem or whatever it was in Home Improvement, those who know. I can't remember what it was. And, you know, they found out something was wrong and it ended up that he has to take a pill one day for the rest of his life. Hey, that seems pretty fucking doable. So to know that I'm going to have these flare-ups sucks. But to also know all the other shit that I've gone through and that I've surpassed and gotten through. Um, Overcoming alcoholism and drug use and, losing, like, as of this morning, I am at 85 pounds down. Stepped on the scale at 195 and my highest was 275. So, to think of all that stuff and go, hey, you know what? I'm going to have the odd flare up. I know how to overcome it now and what I have to do. And now it's just a matter of doing it. So that's what I'm going to do. Don't have too much else for you guys. Obviously, there's not much I can do workout wise. I obviously didn't go to the gym this morning. I did do a little bit, as you can see, I'm still a little sweaty, a little damp here. I was on the stationary bike there, which I know sounds weird. I took the day off from work because I can't be on my feet and walking all day and wearing shoes. 40 minutes on the bike is completely different because of the way my ankle was going and there was no real pressure on my ankle. So I can walk, but not very well. So I did, 40 minutes on that, 500 calories, about 23 kilometers biked. Nice steady pace. I don't go crazy with it. I don't have it like cranked onto a hard setting. It's just literally get on and just pedal. Pedal nicely while I'm watching some TV and then I might hit some biceps and triceps today because that's what was on the docket. Today was supposed to be arms and legs. So luckily it's not one of my bigger workout days. And with that being said, I'll still be able, even with the gout, to be able to hit some of the more upper body workouts because I can do 90% of my workouts sitting or lying down. I don't need to be standing. And even the ones that I potentially would need to be standing for, I can think of workarounds for it. That's kind of the beauty of learning 100 different exercises for one muscle. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Keep an eye out for my Trainer Tuesday tips, my Transformation Tuesday trainer tip. I'm going to start putting them out there. I'm going to be collaborating more with Hard Knocks by Dynafit, the gym I go to. They really liked my reel that I put out the other day. If you guys follow the channel, you know the drill. I'm here to help you guys. I'm here to share my experiences and varying techniques. And, I'm 40 years old. Am I going to be an IFBB pro? Fuck no. I might, but probably not. I'm doing it because I love it. I'm passionate about it, and I am here for health and fitness. So if I can help you guys along the way, either by showing you techniques or showing you things that I did that didn't work, that broke me down, because that is what I'm all about these days, is I'm trying to push my body to the limits and break myself down so that you guys don't have to. Longevity wise, is it going to work? No, probably not, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there. All right, guys, you know the drill. Own your lives and get after it. Cheers.